Nell, and I have recently moved into this new home. And I, of course, brought this table along with me with these plants and the different pots, and I am starting to decorate this home with different colors and different things, and it's just like, oh, these pots are just too mishmash. So I'm going to redo this, and I just thought you'd be interested to see the houseplant table makeover. So forward to 3.5 months later, and this is what the table looks like now. And of course there are photos and more details in the blog posts, along with links to a few things I have here. So be sure to check that out. It'll be at the top of the description box and also on our blog, joyousgarden.com. So I'm just gonna walk you through this step-by-steps of what I did in case you're confused about plant styling or how to decorate with plants. Of course, it's all a matter of taste and what you like, but you also want to make sure that the plants are going to do okay where they are too. And I will talk a bit about why I place the plants where they are too, in terms of light exposure. But it's a fun project, and let's get on to starting with the pots. I wanted to keep some of the shapes the same, but as you can see, they're both like a terracotta-ish, but this is a more of a browner, and then I went with the baskets for that earthy feel, and this is a little bit of terracotta and white, and this here, and then this one is orange to tie in with the terracotta, because I have orange in a picture here and orange in a couple prints over there, so that's just a little accent color added in there. And then on the bottom, I went very simple down here. Also too, I had more plants on the table. I don't have as many on it because I didn't want it to look so crowded. I went with accents of black down here because I have black in the light fixtures, black frames, so I wanted to tie that in a bit, but I didn't want the black to be the main color, so it is down here all spread out. And I did some minor DIYs. I glued on some glass sticks here, also in a very earthy tone. I painted this basket. It was, yellow. I just used house paint on it. And this, I did a black stripe just to tie that in, and then I did a black rim there. The black, I just used acrylic paint, so you can jazz up your pots a bit. I didn't want to do any crazy patterns because I have so many plants, and I want the plants to show just as much as the pots do. So I'm going to go over my process really fast. It's sort of like when you clean your closet out. I took everything off of the table. I had all these knickknacks too, and I put everything on the dining room table here, and then I pulled the table out. I cleaned behind the table because I thought, oh, that's a great opportunity for that. And then I also cleaned the table itself. So then I placed the plants on the table to see how I liked it, and there was a red, this was in a red pot. There were some other pots, and I sort of played around with the placement of the plants first because I want the kind of up and down, and then I looked at the pots and where I wanted the pots to go. So then I was getting closer. I was basically switching out the pots, and that's one thing that you might want to do too. Of course, if you have all the same kind of pot, it's easy, but I switched out some kind of pots, and then I was really getting closer to how I wanted it to be. So yes, some of the containers got switched out, and you know what? In probably 6 to 8 months, I might switch a few of the containers too, because I have these, I have a couple of these kind of bronzy containers, which I like to, which might go in here well, and if I want to switch a basket out at some point, I might. So feel free to do that. It doesn't have to stay this way, but I like it a lot. So these are south-facing windows over there, which you can't see. So these need the most light here, so that's why they're here. This aglaonema needs it to bring out this beautiful pink. The same with the pothos. It's really starting to fill in. Also with this pothos, I did a little bit of tip pruning on it. I pretty much leave my plants alone in the winter in terms of pruning, but tip pruning I'll do. And tip pruning means just to take off the ends because I didn't want it to hang all that much, because I already have 2 pothos which have really long trails, so I don't need these to have really long trails also. And so then over here we're getting into the ones that can tolerate like moderate light. I don't have low light in this house. I have a huge north-facing window over here. Oh, by the way, I'm in Tucson, Arizona. It's the 3rd sunniest place in the country, so we get a lot of sun. So there's a lot of nice light coming in here. And then these ones on the bottom don't need quite as much light down here. The Christmas cactus is just finishing its bloom. It needs the most. And that is my canopy humidifier there, which I run when it gets drier. And what really helps me out with that is this here. It's a little meter reader, and it was like $11 on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the blog post. And it shows the humidity is 35% now, which is the comfort zone, which is in the comfort zone. So this really helps me out as to when I need to run that. And oftentimes I just run it at night because I have so many plants. And I had a lot of little odds and ends and knickknacks on here, which I pretty much took out because I just like this more open. But I do have the pyrite here, the fool's gold, a little gold, which I love. And then I have a little artificial, a vase with artificial fern fronds in it because I love ferns. Just can't grow them here inside in the desert, too dry. So that just adds a nice little different layer of texture. And then I have this candle holder here, which my parents got for an engagement present, and I just like it, so I display that. So that's all that is down there in terms of things that are not plant related. And I take my plants to the kitchen sink to water them. It's just what I do. These have saucers under them. I will probably go through and put the risers on them. It just allows for a bit of extra air underneath and the flow of, and also helps to protect the table a bit. I have it under one of them, but it just gives a little added protection under there. Oops. So it would just slide under there. So if you want to protect your floors or your furniture, these are great. So I hope you have enjoyed this fun little project and it has given you an inspiration or an idea, or just giving you some help on how to decorate with indoor plants. It's really fun. I have a lot of plants, so I switch them up a little bit, but I think I'm going to just keep all the plants here because it just makes it easier, because I'm always bringing it in new plants. So as always, I thank you so much for watching. I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I appreciate them. Now let's get into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. The next long form video coming up is Terrarium DIY. As usual, there's a short coming out every week, so stay tuned for that. Bye for now.